Welcome to ChampionsHeart. You can't play boxing. Featuring boxing addict Johnny Farache and friends from superfans to superstars. Let's roll.
Hey, boxing fan. And I'm joined by Boxing Hall of Fame publicist, Mr. Marc Abrams.
What's up, Johnny? What's going on?
Oh, my man. We're rocking and rolling down here in South Florida, fighting COVID like a beast, man. It's coming from every direction.
Well, yeah, I can see that. It's pouring here in Philadelphia. Actually feels good.
Nice, good. Let's get right into some boxing talk, huh? Last week in Las Vegas at the Bubble. Let's go.
Good performance by Salcedo. He didn't get hit that much. I mean, Fredrickson usually comes to bang with Salcedo. Salcedo was definitely improved from his last outing, against Hooker and, previous fights when he was in wars. He a little bit more defensively responsible, still work in progress in terms of improving his defensive liabilities, but a good first step.
Jose Vargas and Salvador Vinceno.
Jose Vargas, guy I've seen many times fight. He's fought a lot of Barclays Center in the last couple of years. A talented prospect, was I believe he was with Mayweather. He might be with Top Rank now. He's still a young kid. He fought through adversity that happened before the fight, where his father actually stepped out of the bubble and into the casino. I guess you're not allowed to do that. You got to stay in those confined areas that Top Rank has mandated for the fighters. And last minute change, Chino Rivas came in to train him. He did a heck of a job, and a nice win for Vargas.
All right. And moving on to Thursday night, Jose Pedraza was in action. How do you grade his performance against?
He did pretty well against Michael Lespierre or Lapierre. He did good performance, moving up in weight, actually moving up about 10 pounds because of the catch weight situation. But Pedraza being with Top Rank, and Top Rank is heavy in the 140-pound divisions with Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, and a few other guys. Maybe Teofimo moves up after he fights Lomachenko. So you expect Pedraza to fight one or two of those guys in the distant and near future.
Albert Bell, who took a little bit of criticism for his lack of punching in his fight.
Well, he's a tall 130-pound fighter. He's undefeated. He's going to be one of those guys, I think, where it may be tough for him to get fights, unless he's mandated to fight some of the top guys, and he's with Top Rank, so that they can help move him in position for that. He's a guy, he's tall. Like you said, he's very defensive, responsible, but he just wins, and that's the bottom line. Like you said, not the greatest style in the world, not the most crowd-pleasing and aesthetically fighter in terms of you're looking for action, looking for knockouts, but the name of the game is getting another one in the WCOM, and I believe he's like 17-0 now.
He is, and how soon do you think before he truly challenges the top of the division?
Very soon, the 130-pound division. There's a lot of good fights out there for him. So hopefully, some of these fighters at the upper level, in the upper echelon of the division, will give him that opportunity. And sometimes some of these fights where guys who aren't exactly, we go into the fight, aren't exactly crowd-pleasing fighters, they get sucked into a fight if they fight somebody who's going to make them fight.
He has the potential, actually, like you said, to challenge at the top. He has all the skill set. Let's see him when he gets there. What happens, right?
Yep.
Saturday night in Mexico, July 4th here in the U.S., which most of us weren't doing a whole bunch. But Saturday night in Mexico, they had a non-commissioned fight, and the headline of the fight was actually canceled due to a positive test.
Honestly, you know more about this than I do. I did not see that.
It was very interesting. And Jockey Nava,
okay,
ended up fighting in the headline of that fight with the win over Estrella Valverde. But the commission was not present, so I'm not even for sure if that's counted as true fights. Not for sure.
I don't know. You have to look that one up.
All right, moving right on to the headlines. It looks like they're targeting December 19th for Fury Wilder 3.
Well, let's hope that by that time there'll be some fans and maybe some normalcy back in this world where because I don't know if that's the fight that they're maybe targeting for the Raiders Stadium. I don't know if it's that fight or the Lomachenko fight, but it'd be a great event. And I was at the last fight, and it was a terrific event. And let's hope that the fight is viable, in terms of economically and being able to put fans in the seats and whatnot. And I'm just hoping every day that this, that this thing we're one day closer to putting this all behind us.
So far, Top Rank seems to be the only one that figured out how to put on fights. And, I spoke with Teofimo Sr. 2 days ago. Obviously have yet to nail down a spot, but they are talking about Raiders Stadium, which I think would be awesome with all things going on. Let's see what they do with Fury Wilder 3. Technically speaking, in that fight, your early report on that, how do you see that kind of shaking out as a matchup?
I think actually this delay and shutdown actually helps Wilder a little bit in the fight. You have to go with Fury just by, the previous 19 rounds that they fought. Fury's probably won about 16 of them. And the way he beat down Wilder. But I think Wilder, because, he hasn't lost his punch, and we know he can punch. So if he makes the proper adjustments, and it's, if it is December, it's going to be 10 months. So he's had a lot of time. He'll have a lot of time to think about what happened, what did and didn't go wrong, what went wrong and what went right, and, fix the problems that went wrong. And we can have a much more competitive fight, maybe much like the first fight.
Right. He has a lot of time to think about it. A lot of people are talking about whether or not Fury got into his head and that he's in his head, but we'll have to see.
Very possible.
But a true champion rises from a defeat and stands up and reclaims his victory. So we're rooting for. I'm rooting for Deontay Wilder being USA and all. The WBC ordered Campbell and Garcia, but the WBO ordered Tagoe Garcia.
I don't know, and I don't know what's going to happen. It's an interesting division. Linares fighting Fortuna. You mentioned Lomachenko and Teofimo. You got Campbell in the mix. You got Ryan Garcia in the mix. Who's Devin Haney going to fight? And now you got this Luke Campbell still hovering around. Emmanuel Tagoe I believe he's an undefeated fighter. And there's going to be some action now at 135 pounds. Linares is fighting Fortuna. So, hopefully a lot of these guys are going to want to fight each other in some kind of, round robin, and we'll get a true guy at 135 pounds.
Right. Ultimately, that's the top spot will be decided on September 19th, and that does fight. But there are a lot of other fights you said that they're
exactly. The number one guy will be decided between Lomachenko and Lopez. But then you have guys like Haney and Garcia who are going to be breathing down the neck of the winner of that fight.
Mm-hmm. So. Who gets Garcia, though? We still don't know. It's Tagoe or...
who knows? Obviously, he's embroiled in a little dispute with his promoter, Golden Boy. Yeah. They seem to not be able to get on the same page in terms of whether it's compensation or whatever is going on there. So I think they have to get on the same page before, we worry about who he's fighting there.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. I think they're both dangerous fights, but I really think that Campbell's a really dangerous fight for him.
Yeah, it's a gargantuan step up for him, and if that's the fight that happens, Tagoe, that could be a little bit of a step up for him as well.
Ding. Just in, Roberto Duran KO7 over COVID.
It was KO something, but yeah, it was great to see. It was great to see him. Obviously this virus has been just horrible on a lot of people, and Duran is up there in age. I believe he's in his late 60s, if I'm not mistaken, and he was in the hospital for a few days down in Panama, and he had a triumphant exit from the hospital. I saw the other day.
Middleweights. Sergey Derevyanchenko apparently has Canelo and Charlo both looking his way, or vice versa.
I think Canelo is going to wind up fighting Lemieux, and then Derevyanchenko will fight Charlo. So, that's just my prediction. I don't, obviously, whatever the best offer is, Derevyanchenko is going to take. So we'll see there.
All right, well, that's interesting. That's definitely another division that's stacking up well, too. I love it, love it. So, one other thing I want to talk about in the results, Robez, how do you say it, Ramirez?
Robesi Ramirez, he got his revenge and on Adon Gonzalez, who defeated him in his pro debut. Shockingly defeated him in his pro debut. Ramirez is, he did what he had to do to win. He lost his first fight at 3 knockouts thereafter. Went the distance with Gonzalez again, but this time he got the easy victory. Obviously, I don't know if he took him so lightly in the first one. He just stunk it. He was terrible that night.
Right.
And maybe we are witnessing, him living up to some of the promise that was touted upon him after winning the 2 gold medals in the Olympics.
Well, he's got a lot of work to do when he's doing it, and I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see all boxers succeed, but we'll see where he goes. All right, let's preview this week real quick. Tomorrow night, Jose Cepeda
against Castaneda. Cepeda, good fighter. Fought a heck of a fight against Jose Ramirez before losing a close decision, and he is fighting Kendo Castaneda. I believe it's about 17-1, so it should be an interesting fight. Good test. Castaneda is a late replacement for Ivan Baranchek, which that would have been a heck of a fight had Baranchek not been injured. So I like Cepeda in this fight tomorrow night.
About Andy Vences versus Luis Lopez, a couple junior lightweights.
Yeah, Vences is a guy. He's been around Top Rank for a few years, and he's finally getting up there in the rankings. And he's a decent little fighter, and he fits right in the 130-pound division that Top Rank seems to have a good strong hold on right now.
Right. Top Rank can keep on moving on. July 9th, this Thursday night, again on ESPN. We're supposed to be Jarrell Big Baby Miller, but we all know what happened there. So Carlos Takam step in with Jerry Forrest.
Mm-hmm. I spoke with Forrest the other night. He's coming to win, and he's basically, when I spoke to him, he was a little surprised, but not really, about what happened with Jarrell Miller. So, but he knows Takam's a good fighter. He's been in with a lot of decent guys. A lot of people thought that Forrest beat undefeated prospect Jermaine Franklin. So, with a win against Takam, who's a guy who acquitted himself well at times when he fought Anthony Joshua a couple years back, he's a real solid fighter. So, win gets you in position to get in a position, because I think it's a little backlog now. We talked about Fury and Wilder, and we got Joshua maybe fighting the winner, and Joshua's going to fight Pulev, and Dillian White is due a mandatory, and there's a few mandatories, but the winner of Forrest and Takam, like I said, gets you in position to get into position.
Also, 25-0 Carlos Castro, who is a super bantamweight. He's a co-main event.
Juarez a guy who's been around. Juarez guy, he's fought for a world title, fought against, I believe, I think he fought Isaac Dogbay a couple years back. Good veteran guy. Castro, I think, is a fighter out of Phoenix, and he's going to be getting his first big test or a big test against Juarez.
Yes, and talking about a big tester, we got American heavyweight, who came up through the amateur ranks, has a lot of great amateur pedigree. Big Jared Anderson. He's actually his second time fighting in the bubble.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got a lot of good exposure and a lot of good feedback from his fight a couple weeks back in the bubble. We'll continue to chart his progress. I know Guido Villanello is going to be fighting again real soon. Another heavyweight, Sonny Kanto, was supposed to fight, but I think he had an injury. So Top Rank, there's a few good young heavyweights to keep their eye on.
Good. All right, man. Looking forward to another week of boxing, and Top Rank keeps on, putting, thankfully they're giving us at least what they're giving us. That's awesome. And finally, man, the double went down to Georgia. Charlie Daniels is passed.
I saw he passed away today.
Yeah, musical icon, legend. And give a little praise to someone that how many times we sang those songs. That's awesome. But appreciate you coming on, giving everybody the news. We'll do this again real soon, my man. And
look forward to it.
Likewise, my man. Keep dreaming big, live large, and love life, my man. Well.
Yeah. Bye-bye.